two of the very best pure technicians in the world of professional wrestling. It is Dean Malenko, the Iceman, versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. One match that I think everyone wishes could have happened. Heck, I think Bryan Danielson probably even wishes this could have happened. But unfortunately, as Danielson was forming his career, Malenko was ending his. But that's where WWE 2K gives you the opportunity to do matches that you would never have had the opportunity to do. Single leg crab by Malenko. Malenko's going up top. We got a 15-minute time limit between these two technicians. Malenko's measuring him off the top. Coming off the top rope with a big crossbody. But Malenko gets caught. Malenko stretching out the back to lower the small of the back of Bryan Danielson. Big mounted punches by Malenko. Big mounted punches by Malenko. Danielson finally finds a way, but Danielson gets immediately blocked by Malenko, and Malenko gets back. Malenko's been a house of fire thus far. Drop down. Mid-ring collision. Danielson finally gets some offense. Big hip toss takedown. Cross arm breaker. Cross arm breaker. But much like Malenko was not able to get the single leg crab in, Danielson is not able to get the cross arm breaker in. Again, Malenko gets blocked. Short brainbuster. A tight and snug brainbuster by Danielson, and a quick kick out by Malenko. Danielson's again going for the cross arm breaker. Danielson's again, but again he can't hyperextend the shoulder. He can't hyperextend the shoulder of Malenko. The unfortunate thing is, I don't know that anybody really believes that Dean Malenko would have been able to hold a candle to Bryan Danielson. But the reality is, Dean Malenko was, in fact, one of the best ever in ring. As far as technical work is concerned, he was just never able to put it all together. You know, he's not on the level of box office draws, but as far as people that would have drawn tickets in ROH, I think there's very few that probably would have drawn more tickets early on, especially if you would have been able to see the IWC's wet dream of a rematch between Malenko and Guerrero, if that was actually something that would have been able to happen in the early days of Ring of Honor when Eddie Guerrero was a part of the earliest episode, the first show of Ring of Honor during his hiatus from WWE. But during that time, Malenko was already retired. In the early days of Ring of Honor and TNA, Malenko was already retired, so he was not able to show his effort with guys like Danielson, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Chris Daniels. As Malenko actually had the single leg crab locked in on the floor. Malenko gets blocked by Danielson. Danielson dropped him with a nasty looking brainbuster. Up top goes Danielson. Big leg drop missed. Clothesline takedown. Malenko goes back up top. If you want to see action through the next 15 minutes, this is going to be action-packed over the next 15 minutes between two of the very best technicians. O'Connor roll, and Danielson gets a 2 count. These two men know how to do the simple things they know how to do the simple things right. Malenko didn't even waste the energy to kick out. He just reached out. He knew where he was. That's just how good Malenko is. He knows where he is at all times. In the ring. Chop block takedown by Danielson. Danielson is picking his spots on the Iceman, and that's what exactly Danielson has to do to stay ahead of Dean Malenko. He's got to pick his spots. Malenko knew what he was doing. Malenko knew what Danielson was going to do there, and he blocked him. But Malenko got blocked back by Danielson. Danielson got blocked back by Malenko, and Malenko's going back for the single leg crab. Malenko's going back for the single leg crab. But at this point, it's not easy. Danielson can't just reach out for the ropes. He's got to fight. Danielson's got to fight. And in fighting, expend energy. He takes him down with a flying forearm, does Danielson. But Malenko gets himself back up. Malenko fights back to his feet. Suplex neckbreaker, but again, Malenko gets back to his feet. Again, back to the neck. Again, Malenko gets back to his feet. Malenko sends Danielson, drop down. Leapfrog. Agility by Malenko, mid-ring collision. Blocked him. Drop kick to the knee. I think I know what Malenko's going for here. I may know what Malenko... Double underhook. Tiger driver. But Danielson popped the hips. Danielson popped the hips and was able to get out of it. Gutbuster. He's going for it. The Iceman's got it locked in. He's got the cloverleaf locked in. Or I thought he did. Danielson used leverage to roll out of it. Speaking of leverage, Malenko used leverage to block the chop block. What a back and forth affair this is. It is exactly as good as we thought. As Malenko rolling powerbomb to the outside. Rolling powerbomb to the outside. Back into the ring goes Danielson. Malenko follows. Danielson fights his way back to his feet. He's going back up top, but Malenko's getting back up. Big drop kick off the top rope. Missile drop kick off the top rope. Psycho knee! Psycho knee by Danielson! Lateral press! And Malenko kicked out! Malenko kicked out! Malenko kicked out of the Psycho knee! Danielson with a headbutt off the top rope! Danielson with a headbutt off the top rope. Danielson's going back up top. Another headbutt off the top. He was not able to follow up. He was not able to follow up, and because he was not able to follow up after the second headbutt, Danielson was not able to capitalize. Malenko was able to resuscitate his energy and get back in the matchup a little bit. And what you want to talk about getting back in the match, that's what Danielson wants to do here. Danielson took too much time waiting for Malenko to get back in, and Malenko took advantage of it. You want to talk about ring presence, you want to talk about ring awareness. Danielson shows again why this isn't even a fair between Malenko and Danielson. As Malenko did it earlier, Danielson does it now. Both men have gotten rope break at different points in the matchup. Knowledge of the ring makes you a little bit better than can make you that much better than your opponent. And that's where Danielson is at right now. But knowledge of your opponent can make you that much better than your opponent, and that's why Malenko is on the offensive. No, Danielson's on the offensive. The seesaw battle continues. Inside cradle, but only a 2. Back and forth. Back and forth, these two premier athletes go. Back over the top goes Malenko, but this time Danielson follows him to the floor. This time Danielson follows him to the floor. We have 2 minutes to go. Malenko gets knocked back into the barricade. Danielson gets blocked. And Danielson gets rocked into the barricade. Malenko gets reversed. These two just keep reversing each other. These two keep reversing each other. Neither one can get any measure of offense because the other keeps reversing the other. Danielson tries to secure himself on the top rope. Leg drop off the top. Lateral press. But Malenko barely kicks out. Malenko barely kicks out. 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Lethal combination by Danielson. Lethal combination by Danielson. Big splash to the small of the back as Malenko began to stir. Danielson is measuring him. You know what comes next? Busaiku knee. The Busaiku knee, but Malenko's back up. Malenko's back up. Malenko nipped up out of nowhere. Calf kick by Malenko. Where the hell is Dean Malenko finding this energy? Where the hell is Dean Malenko finding this? Gutbuster. Gutbuster by Dean Malenko. Texas Cloverleaf. Texas Cloverleaf. Texas Cloverleaf and Malenko. Malenko beats the American Dragon. Malenko beats the American Dragon. The Iceman. In a sight you'd only see in a WWE video game. In a sight you'd only see in a WWE video game. From out of nowhere. Just a sudden burst of energy. Malenko shows why. I think the title of the Energizer Bunny can go to Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko just sprung up out of nowhere and with a sudden burst of energy took everything that Danielson had and that was enough to get Malenko the victory over the American Dragon. With that being said, that is it from me, and I will see you in the next one.